interesting to me to hear conservatives and anti-black people scream about Kwanzaa every year, about Kwanzaa being a made-up holiday. Can y'all please show the class what a non-made-up holiday looks like? What is a non-made-up holiday? Every holiday is made up and created, and then people choose whether or not they're going to celebrate it. Another thing that's always said is that, well, it wasn't celebrated in Africa. Well, yeah, like that's part of the point. Dr. Malana Karanga and members of the US organization created, promoted, and celebrated Kwanzaa. The whole point was that our ancestors endured centuries of brutality, from the transatlantic slave trade through chattel slavery, Jim Crow, and so on. And part of that brutality was the suppression of Western and Central African cultural traditions. In fact, our ancestors could be beaten or face death for practicing their own traditions publicly, so they often had to go underground or in private to practice their own cultural traditions and religions. And what that did was actually create gaps in the transmission of our cultural traditions. So it made it harder to retain some of those cultural traditions. Not all of them, but some of them. It just made it harder. Kwanzaa is based on various African harvest festivals. Now, why Swahili? Well, at the time, there was a lot of discussion about a unifying African language that could be used across the continent and throughout the diaspora. And because a lot of people already spoke Swahili, people thought it would be good to utilize that in different upcoming traditions or public conversations happening between Black scholars internationally. So that's why it's Swahili. So in conclusion, Kwanzaa is real. It is a holiday, and it is no less of a holiday than any other holiday.